Hey everyone, it's me, Doomlink, and welcome to an update video for the 12th of July 2017. Now, this update video is going to be a little bit different to usual, if only for the fact that I'm going to be playing some first-person shooter gameplay over the top. It doesn't really make sense to say over the top of the commentary because they're not really the same, they're not in the same physical space, you know, there's a video and then there's audio, they're not really physically on top or below each other. But anyway, I'm actually rendering a video at the moment, so hopefully this recording goes fine, but anyway. It's funny because even though I have this new PC, and I will tell you the specs of it, it's an Intel i7-700K, I hate the number of 7s in that name, and also a GTX 1080 Ti, which is, you know, kind of one of the best things that you can get at the moment, and it's funny, it's no real different, the process of rendering videos, apart from the fact that it takes a lot less time as before. I mean, what I'm rendering right now takes me about 1 hour and 50 minutes. Before that would have taken me in excess of 5 hours. So, yeah, I mean, probably around 6 hours, to be fair. So, it's a lot faster than it was before, and that may or may not give you an indication of how much better my current setup is compared to my previous one, but, you know, in terms of how much stress it puts on my system, you know, my CPU is at 91% capacity at this point, or, you know, usage, whatever you call that. And, yeah, Vegas Pro is draining all of it, pretty much. I don't know why it's draining that much CPU power, considering it should be rendering using the graphics card. It is using the graphics card to render the video, but it's still drawing a lot of CPU power for some reason. I don't understand the process of video processing in this case, so maybe it drains both the CPU and the GPU. In fact, it clearly does, based on the performance in Task Manager that I am currently monitoring. But anyway, yeah, so what you're seeing right now in terms of Battlefield 4 gameplay was originally recorded with commentary, but I didn't really like the commentary. I was actually intending on scrapping this video that you're seeing right here, but it was nice gameplay, more or less. I came second in a Gunmaster game. It was basically with hardcore settings, and it was like a weird rotation of weapons. It was like a shield, and then a bow, and then, you know, it wasn't pistols, I don't think. You know, it was basically an interesting rotation of weapons, and it was nice that I came second overall. And I was going to scrap that gameplay, but then I realised that I actually wanted to record a update video. I did an update video while playing Battlefield 4 at some point, like a few days ago, but it didn't really turn out well, aside from the fact that I actually lost the audio recording of that because Windows 10 decided to restart on its own and close Audacity in such a way that it made Audacity not save my previous recordings, so that was great. Thanks for that, Windows 10. As usual, regardless of what machine I have Windows 10 on, it gives me the most fucking, you know, grief that you can imagine with these restarts that they like to do. Because, you know, the prospect of you not updating Windows 10 is just so absolutely not acceptable to them that they need to, they force you. It doesn't matter if everything just closes, and it doesn't even matter if they don't give you any warning, you know. They'll just close everything. Too bad. You need to update Windows 10. It's extremely important. But anyway, yeah, the reason why I'm making this video is not only to talk about my new PC, but also to talk about what Let's Plays I'm doing at the moment, what Let's Plays I've finished as of this moment, and, you know, what I plan to do in the future in terms of Let's Plays, obviously. Sorry if you ever hear any sounds with my microphone, it's actually probably me just adjusting it. Sometimes it can sound like that's not what I'm doing, but that is in fact what I'm doing, because, you know, weird sounds are made when you move the microphone. But, yeah, so I'll start off with what I've completed. I think last month it was, in June, I completely uploaded, well, I finished completely uploading my Dark Souls 2 Let's Play in total. Just, it's all done. Everything that I did regarding the Souls series back in 2016 is finished, finally, and that is really, really good. So you won't have to see any more Souls series stuff this year. I might record more next year. In terms of that, I was thinking that I would record Dark Souls on PC, seeing as though I have the ability to record that perfectly fine now. I was trying to install some mods there to up the frame rate, up the resolution, but things weren't really working too well. Apparently it's getting more and more difficult to do that nowadays. I mean, of course, From Software are very intelligent. I don't know if it's From Software's fault or Bandai Namco, but basically they things were being updated, so people who were applying modifications to make a really shit PC port no longer shit basically those mods were becoming less reliable because of those updates, and sorry if you could hear those birds in the background. I've actually got my windows open, so that I can, you know, breathe. I think breathing is important. I think you might agree. But anyway, so the thing with Dark Souls PC is I need to work out how to get those mods working, and then once I've got those mods working, I may very well start recording a Let's Play of that. So, yeah. That pretty much, like, I've already covered everything that I've finished. That's basically all I finished. I think I'm going to put Four Swords Adventures on hold, I think, because I have a few too many things on my plate at the moment. I'm currently re-uploading Spyro Dawn of the Dragon, because that is the next thing that I need to get uploaded, because it was what I recorded once I had finished Dark Souls 2. So I'm kind of going in chronological order at this point, more or less. I will be uploading some very recent things, but I will also be uploading very old things, because I don't want everything recent that I record get put in this sort of, I guess, waiting line, and then it eventually gets uploaded like a year after it's recorded. That's just ridiculous. That could easily happen if I followed in the direction of my Let's Plays chronologically from July of last year, because that's where we are at right now, because Spyro Dawn of the Dragon, or at the very least the footage that I'm currently editing and uploading, as of, you know, July in 2017, like yesterday, no, the day before, I uploaded on the 10th of July, I uploaded some Spyro stuff. That was episodes, let me double check actually, because I do have YouTube open so I can check for you. So the episodes that I uploaded like on July 10th, 2017 were episode 7 through to episode 10, or part. Episode part, you get the idea. And those were recorded on the 22nd of July 2016, if you can believe that. Well, I'm sure you can believe that, but we're getting very close to it being an entire year since I've recorded Spyro as well. So I already went past the 1 year mark of uploading Dark Souls 2. By the time I finished Dark Souls 2, it was over a year since I had recorded that, so it's looking like Spyro Dawn of the Dragon is going to be about the same. I put a pause on the recording process of Spyro in August. I stopped maybe 30 parts in, something like that. Maybe 28, 30 parts. That is a pure estimate. I really don't know yet. But it might not even be that. It might be like 25 maximum. But like I said, it's purely an estimate, so I could be wrong. But anyway, Spyro Dawn of the Dragon is the next priority in terms of my uploads, so do expect more of that in the recent uploading schedule. But anyway, there's also Final Fantasy 13, and I don't know what to do with that. I mean, it's not really comfortable for me to continue recording that, but I'm going to do it. It's a bit weird for me to go back to that game, because I've hardly played it, you understand? So it feels very strange to actually consider going back in there and recording a Let's Play of it, because I recorded it for a very short period of time in, I think, October or November of last year, and if not very early this year. I'm kind of messed up with those dates, I don't really know. But I have a sneeze coming, by the way. I hate it when this happens. One thing that I do like to do is talk right until the very end of me needing to sneeze, which is why oftentimes I can sound very strange when a sneeze is coming on. But anyway, yeah, what else do I need to talk about? So Final Fantasy 13, I don't know when you should expect that. I didn't really know in the last update video when you should expect that either, and I still don't, even though it's been a while since I last did an update video. Let's check and see when I last did an update video. So let's have a look at Doomlink updates. Unfortunately, the playlist is so old that I have to go into my list of created playlists. Okay, I've got 9 update videos in total, including 2 videos regarding, like, first impressions of a new game coming out. But it seems the 8th of June, about a month ago, was my last Doomlink update. I remember that originally in 2015 I wanted to have Doomlink updates like twice a year. Now it's looking like 6 times a year, but anyway, how many did I have in 2016? 1, 2, 3, 4. I had 4 update videos in 2016, 1 in 2015 because I didn't decide to do this until September of 2015. So that was my first, it was the 22nd of September 2015, that was my first update video. But anyway, it's interesting to go back and listen to that, and just, I was in a totally different, stage of my Let's Playing on this channel, and I was dealing with different problems. A good thing to mention, it's really interesting because that update in September of 2015 was after I had suffered a loss of files, which required the cancellation of 2 Let's Plays that I was doing at the time, which was my original Skyrim Let's Play, and we'll talk a little bit about Skyrim soon, because I do have something to talk about regarding that. That is another one of my Let's Plays that I'm currently doing at the moment. And also, my, at that time, New Game Plus playthrough of Demon's Souls. That was my very first one. This was before I did the multiple Let's Plays at the same time of Demon's Souls. That was the following year. Within a few months of that, that was in April of 2016. This update video I'm talking about is September of 2015. But, yeah, and I was recovering a loss of files, and funnily enough, that almost happened as I was transferring to this new PC. Now, this wasn't my fault. What actually happened was, and I'll explain to you what happened, I was transferring my documents folder from my original PC onto an external, and on my original PC, the files looked as if they had transferred perfectly fine. But then I would take the external onto my new PC, and this process was basically me unplugging my old PC, pulling it out, putting my new one in, and plugging it in, all of that, and starting it up. So it was quite a process to undertake every single time, and I did it back and forth about 3 or 4 times to try and work out what the problem was. But as I would plug in my old external into my, well, not necessarily my old external, but the external that I had pulled over my old files and placed onto, whenever I would put that on my new computer, the computer just couldn't read it. It was like the files were corrupted. The entire documents folder. In fact, it wasn't just the documents folder, it was the pictures and the music folder that I had transferred, like the main folders and the contents within. And all of them were considered corrupted. You couldn't open them. And then at some point, I don't know, I think I changed, that's what I did. I pulled out I have like a USB hub that I plug my USBs into, because fuck going behind the PC to do that. I hate doing that. Anyone who owns a computer needs a USB hub, I don't care who you are, but yeah, it's amazing. Once you have one, you'll really appreciate having one, but yeah, so I just changed the USB slot it plugged into, and then I opened it up. This is still on my original, not my original, my new PC. Then all of my folders, well, they were there. All of my folders were there except the documents folder, and I could now access them. So this was a little bit concerning, because now I had access to my pictures and music folder, but my documents folder had disappeared. So I was a little bit worried about that. What I guessed was that whatever was causing this corruption was indeed present in the documents folder, and for whatever reason the computer had removed that corruption completely, and I was a bit worried about that, because there were some seriously detrimental files present on that documents folder, or in that documents folder, not only relating to my Let's Plays, but also a few other things that take up a lot of my time. So basically, had I lost that documents folder, I would have had to cancel the Spyro Let's Play, I would have had to cancel a few things, basically. Like, I would have had to cancel Final Fantasy 13, because that was sitting on there too in the documents folder. It would have been a real nightmare, but you see, I could identify the fact, after I had fully transferred all of my other folders and the contents within onto my new PC, and I looked at the external, the only thing that I put on this was a new external hard drive, keep in mind, brand new, so it wasn't a problem with the external hard drive itself, but I had only these files on it, and after I had transferred everything, apart from the documents folder, which, keep in mind, had disappeared, it wasn't there anymore, I would open up this supposedly empty external. It would say there were, like, this folder is empty, like, in the root of the drive, but then you would look and see that the drive still had space allocated for that documents folder, like, however many gigabytes that documents folder was, I believe it was in excess of 250, it still had that space taken up on the external, despite the fact that this was not showing up. So what I did was I went back to my old PC, opened it up, I was having the same problem. I was thinking maybe it would appear on my old PC, but then that wasn't the case. So what I did was I went into the properties of my actual drive, and then I troubleshooted it for problems, or I scanned it for errors. That's what I did. I scanned the disk for errors, and it found errors, and it fixed them, and all of a sudden, my documents folder returns, and it must have just deleted whatever the corrupted thing was. I'm guessing it just kind of wiped the... I don't know. I don't want to try and explain what my new PC did to result in what actually occurred, but I'm sure you can guess what it was. Sorry if you can hear the birds outside. I know they're a little bit loud, and I apologise for that, but yeah, so basically everything was okay. I had access to my documents folder, and that's awesome. So now everything is fine. I brought all of those files onto my new PC, and now I am fully present on my new PC. My old PC is no longer relevant, and that makes me happy because that thing was giving me the shits for a lot of reasons. Extremely slow transfers were one of those reasons, and that was plaguing me as I was bringing those files off the computer. So yeah, it's very nice to be on a new PC after dealing with that thing. But anyway, let's go back to the Let's Play talk. We basically... And I got interrupted. That's very easy to edit when it comes to these update videos, of course, because, you know, there's nothing that needs to be synced up to the videos, so in terms of the audio, so I can just, you know, edit it as needed. But anyway, I dodged a bullet with the problem with the files being transferred to the hard drive, and had that bullet actually hit me and successfully hurt me, you know, keeping with the weird metaphor that I'm going with here, that would have been my death, for sure. Anyway, you know, interesting metaphor, Doomlink, thanks for that. But anyway, going back to the actual videos that I'm recording at the moment, yeah, so Skyrim. I have recorded, once again, about 40 to 45 parts of that Let's Play, and I think I'm going to scrap it all. And I don't think any of you are necessarily going to give a shit, but I kind of give a shit that I want to do that. There are two reasons why I want to do this. What really prompted the decision in the first place was me getting a new PC, and I think everyone will agree that the PC version of Skyrim is far beyond anything that can be found on the console versions, whether it be, you know, the next generation consoles, or rather the new generation consoles. Next sounds, you know, distant, but you know, I use the term next generation consoles from the perspective of a person before they were released, and I still haven't changed that terminology despite it being, you know, well over 3 years since they were released. That shows you how out of touch I am. But so yeah, either way, the PC version of Skyrim is far superior, and then also I don't really like how the recordings, like the actual video quality of the recordings, I don't like how they turned out. There were discrepancies in the movements, like whenever I would move the camera, there was some kind of, I don't know, there was this motion, it wasn't even motion blur, it was, and there was some of that, for sure, there was definitely motion blur, but there was also this weird glitch in the video when the camera was moved. And if you look at the actual video recordings that I've done, I'm going to keep everything that I've uploaded. This is going to be the second Skyrim Let's Play that I've cancelled, for God's sake. It's really ridiculous, but keep in mind, for my original Let's Play of Skyrim, I recorded about 6 or 7 parts. For this one, I recorded about 45 parts, but the original one only had about 3 parts uploaded, the second one only had 10 parts uploaded, so it's kind of... yeah, it sucks, but all of that time was wasted, long story short. And, you know, think about how much footage and how much commentary 45 parts worth of a Let's Play is. That's a lot. I mean, that's seriously, that's extensive, and you're not going to see any of that. And that's a real shame. I might keep some of it, maybe, just for the sake of it, and then maybe edit a video that you could easily never have seen and then just upload it for the sake of it, but I'm going to keep the files for as long as I can until they just become too much of a burden in terms of their physical size. Well, not really physical size, but, you know, I say physical figuratively, which is very stupid of me to do, but anyway, Skyrim is going to be cancelled, and I'm going to do a new Let's Play, a third one of it, on the PC version, and I'm still not too sure how I want to tackle that. I don't know if I want to use a controller or mouse and keyboard. There are mods that you can get to make mouse and keyboard a lot easier to play Skyrim on, but I just wonder how much easier and whether or not that's going to be comfortable for me. It might be comfortable. I will see. What I really wanted to do was just play Skyrim kind of for the first time on PC and just have my live reactions to the PC version, but I think I'm going to have to play it first just to kind of get everything in order, whether it be get the mods in order or, you know, get used to mouse and keyboard and how that feels like and determine whether or not I want to use mouse and keyboard or controller. I think mouse and keyboard will be better. Just having the mouse selecting options on the screen, that's just going to be much nicer. And I think you have to do that anyway, even if you're using a controller, which is stupid. So it's partial controller support, which means that you will need to use the mouse to select some things. But anyway, that is the sound. If you heard that, that is indeed the sound of... We found one or more settings that might affect battery life. Well, you know what? I get about 12 hours of battery life on my laptop because it's a good laptop, so I don't think I need that. Thank you. Alright, so that's Skyrim for you. Once again, in terms of Dark Souls PC, I don't know when you're going to see that. I don't even know when I'm going to start recording it, let alone when you're going to see it. That might be a few months after I've recorded it, I don't know. But basically, the current priority is Spyro Dawn of the Dragon. I want to get back into uploading The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker. I've recorded about 28 to 30 parts of Wind Waker HD. And I've only uploaded like 11 or something like that. 11 or 12 parts I've uploaded of that. So I do need to get that moving, and I think I was recording that in October of last year as well, so yeah, it's a little bit silly that I haven't gotten that moving. And look, Spyro is the priority simply because it was recorded first, so I want to get the stuff that was recorded first out first so it doesn't become really fucking old. That is the plan. So we are going to do that, and that is the plan. Well, I said that is the plan twice, so I think you guys get the idea that that is indeed my plan going forward. And it's been 23 minutes. I can't remember how long the original video was, in fact, that I'm apparently playing on top of what you're listening to right now. It's not like I'm actually looking at the video. That's all being done in post. I'm going to have a look and see how long that actually was, because I can just load it up into Vegas here. Wow, okay, well that... Hold on. I've been recording for 23 minutes, so it's literally now. It's finishing now. So, okay, well, the video has finished, so that's good to know. That's interesting. So basically, thank you for watching, everyone. This has been me, Doomlink, and I will see you guys next time I decide to do an update video. I don't believe there's anything else for me to talk about, so yeah, expect a little bit of Battlefield 4 gameplay just because I enjoy playing games and recording them at the same time. I'm not turning my channel into a first-person shooter channel, but I'm going to do a little bit of that because back in 2015 I recorded Battlefield 3 as well a few times, so yeah, I'm going to do it this time around as well in 2017, so I will see you guys in those videos if you are indeed interested in watching those, and yeah, either way, I will see you guys later. Bye bye.